Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Align Plans, and welcome to 2025. Well, you haven't seen me in 2025, so I wanted to just wish you the warmest Happy New Year. I hope your holiday season went really well. I hope that you had some time to recharge and reconnect with family and just spend some time during the holiday season. I took a little bit of time off right after the holidays, and we actually went for a little ski trip, and I just got back not long ago, a couple of days ago. So I wanted to, of course, come on and actually chat with you guys. And so in today's video, we're going to be talking about 2025 plans, and we're also going to be talking a little bit about the theme of January. My big plans are for this year is to kind of look at each month and add a theme or add sort of a direction that will kind of shape the month for me. And you're welcome to join me in this process, but I thought I would share what the theme of the month is. And then at the end of the month, we're going to be checking in to see how that challenge, how that theme actually played out, or how it impacted my planner system. So again, if you wanted to kind of see what is in store for January, then just stay tuned and let's just dive right into this. If we've never met before, this is the first time that we're meeting. Well, hello, how are you? My name is Meshi, and I am the person behind Align Plans. And we chat a couple of times a week on this channel, or at least we try to. And the whole idea behind this channel is really to kind of talk a little bit about stationery and minimalism, and really find a way to utilize the things that we have without feeling like we need to constantly consume more, and without really buying the things and then they just kind of collect dust on the shelf. So if that sounds good and you love stationery and fountain pens and all the things, then make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification so that you get notified every single time that I release a new video. Now, back to the video. So the idea of theming up my month actually came from really just kind of looking at different challenges that we can kind of do that kind of not only improves our lives, but then it's also really season relevant. So while I know a lot of you are setting like these huge goals for 2025, and I know that a lot of you are also coming out of the holiday season and into January with the mindset of just spending a lot less and really consuming a lot less, I thought that our theme for the month could actually be less consumption. It could be really just to consume less. And when we're bringing that down to stationery, then the challenge for this month is to utilize the things that you have. Now, I thought I would just give you like a quick overview of like kind of what I have in mind. So I think some of the ways that we can achieve consuming less, or consuming, basically just kind of stepping a little bit away from continuously buying. And I know that December is a really heavy month for consumption for a lot of us, because we either buy gifts for ourselves or we're buying gifts for other people. So it becomes really hectic, and it's a shorter month, and it usually leaves most of us really drained and kind of burnt out. So it's really lovely to kind of step into January with the mindset of less but better, and also really reshift the focus back onto ourselves. So my recommendation, or I'm going to give you about 3 tips that I think will be helpful. First off is to utilize your stash. It's just that simple. Basically, what you would end up doing for the month of January is that you take a look at your sticker stash. So I'll just show you mine. I have most of mine in this little folder here. And you kind of look at, especially the ones, like this would be a really good example of it, where it's almost done, but it's not quite done. And then you're hanging on to it thinking, well, the good ones are already gone, and then these will just get to it when we get to it. So these would be like the challenge for you to just utilize something like this. Other ones that would be really great to kind of use up is not so much the seasonal stuff. So I wouldn't necessarily look at something like this, especially if it's a very Christmas themed one. But I would look at something where you're like, you're almost there. And okay, I actually have like a press-on sticker set that I just bought not long ago, but as you can tell, I'm almost done. I started actually cutting out pieces instead of just leaving the whole sheet and then trying to just capture like one sticker. I find that sometimes to be a little bit more challenging, especially for placement. I really like it when I just kind of cut them out and then place it where I would like to place them. So as you can tell, like there's still at least 1, 2, 3, about 5 different sets here. Christmas ones, I won't even touch. Icons, they're kind of hit and miss for me. Sometimes I use them, sometimes I don't. But I don't necessarily look at those as something that is kind of taking up space. This would be another great one to use up, but because it's seasonal, I think I'm going to just leave that alone. And again, like something like this would be fun. This would be fun to use up with, especially erase stickers. I see myself using more of these in my traveler's notebook rather than in something like a Hobonichi or the Hibino. And then again, something like this where there's two larger stickers, one small sticker, and then a bunch of washi tapes. This would be a fun one to use up. This is almost done. So you get the idea. So something where you're almost there, but you're not quite there. And then this would be around the time, at least this would be around the time for myself to kind of look at like, ooh, I'm almost done. And all the good ones are gone. So I'm going to replace it. So I am of the belief that I think that you get to earn the right to kind of quit, or you earn the right to kind of move on. I think that you need to kind of look at what do you have that is perfectly functional and working, but you might not feel inclined to use right away. You challenging yourself to utilize what you already have bought and you invested in, I think will give you a sense of gratification. Now, without going any further and without talking about the actual system of when it comes to just consuming more and setting goals and adding systems in place that will really allow us to actually be successful at the end, I wanted to just take a moment and let you know that if you enjoy videos like this, make sure you subscribe and you hit the like button so that I know that you love videos just like this if you are brand new to the channel. Okay, back to the video. I am cheating a little bit because I have already started this about mid-December, mainly because we had like this huge post strike. So we were not receiving any mail. So I was actually forced to kind of utilize what I have. I did receive a couple of sticker sets slowly, but I mean, I'm just starting to receive stuff that I was supposed to receive at the beginning of December. So like, that's how delayed everything is. And so I kind of came up with the idea, as you can tell, this is themed for November. I came up with the idea of just like, you know what, it's okay. We don't necessarily need to make the decor or the things that we have like as accessories the main event. We can literally just kind of look at it like it is an accessory, and sometimes we use it, sometimes we don't. And maybe you don't struggle with this at all, and I mean, I applaud you for it. I kind of struggle with this sometimes, especially with small icons or icons that I use like all the time, or washi tapes that I favor, or certain decor sets. Sometimes I end up either hoarding them, or I just don't want to use them, or I use them, but then I'm scared to kind of use it up because then I know that I will have to replace it. So I kind of have like a weird relationship with that. But the only thing that I have messed up on that I would actually encourage you to do is, once you have used up a sticker sheet set, is to just put it away. Put it away and check back in at the end of the month to see your progress. That's one thing that I haven't done because I was just kind of throwing them out as I went. But if you want to throw them out, then that's totally fine. And at least just take a picture of it and capture it. Because at the end of this month, you will have the opportunity to kind of go back and see how well you've done. So this is one recommendation that I have that I think that I'm already doing, because I really love the idea of just kind of utilizing your own stash and kind of force yourself to still be creative without the new thing, without relying on the new and the fresh and the different. You know what I mean? The other thing that I would like to add to this, so when it comes to the challenge, obviously, like if you partake in it or if you're following along with this theme, my recommendation is to make it public. So share it with someone, share it with your bestie, share it with someone on Instagram. As long as you make it known to another person, then that adds another level of accountability. Plus, it also gives other people a chance to also kind of cheer you on. And last but not least, at the very end, when it comes to goal setting, I think that it's very important. You can choose to or you cannot. It's totally up to you. But I like the idea of when you complete something hard, add a reward at the very end of it. Because we kind of work on a reward system, whether you believe it or not. It's a lot more motivational to kind of complete something that might be challenging for us if you know that at the end there's a reward, there's like a payoff. And I mean, we do that with children all the time, but I think that it's nice when you can kind of translate that to your own day-to-day habits. So set the goal, make it measurable, make sure that it's tangible, like you can actually measure your progress, which will give you motivation. Make it public so that other people can also hold you accountable. So there's an accountability system there, and add a reward. Now, you may or may not want to do this with consuming less with stickers or with stationery. You might want to kind of apply that to more your spending habits or just your day-to-day habits of doing less or spending less or consuming less. So you can apply this to your finances where you literally just go through a no spend month. I know that right now, Brittany with Plan Your One Life, she's already doing this. So if you wanted to check out her channel, I will leave it in the description and also in the comments. I will tag her in this video so that you can kind of follow her along as well. I'm personally not doing a no spend only because I know that I'm kind of trying to like replace certain stationery, but I am challenging myself to just consume a lot less and utilize the things that I already have. And the last thing is that you can also create, with no spend, because it's financial, with the financial aspect of it, if you're doing a no spend, I would also recommend that you add, now mind you, we're like midway through the month, but if you choose to do that maybe for February, I would add a tracker, and then I would start tracking the days when you're not spending money on anything. And then at the end, you can kind of take a look at how much you saved. You can also track the things that you said no to, which is always a really fun one. I've seen this a lot from like zero waste accounts and stuff like that, where you can really look at all the ways that you're being inspired to spend your money and all the ways that you're being inspired to consume more. And then when you consciously become aware of it and you override that initial hit, that initial desire, then I think that at the very end of the month, you should most definitely do some sort of a reward. Now, I will add one caveat to this. Please don't add a reward that kind of stacks up all the cash that you saved and then you spend that on yourself. Because to me, doing a no spend month so that you can spend that at the very end of the month as a reward, it kind of defeats the purpose of what we're trying to do here. The idea is to rewire your habits and add more self-control so that you're not constantly leaning more into the initial stimulus that you're being bombarded with on a day-to-day basis. So that's sort of the idea behind it. And whether we're looking at financial goals or we're looking at, your interaction with stationary items, it's essentially just rebuilding that mental awareness and that mental stamina where you kind of become aware and you kind of just paused for a moment before you respond to the stimuli. So that's without going too deep into this. But anyways, I hope that you partake in this challenge, and I hope that you partake in the theme of the month when we're really just leaning more into consuming a lot less than what we normally would. I do think that it's a wonderful habit. I think that it really adds another level of character, and I think that it changes just the way that you also interact with the things that you consume, which there's nothing, by the way, like I wanted to kind of add just one little caveat to this. I personally don't think that spending money on the things that you truly desire, especially if it's a conscious purchase, I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. I could do like a whole series on consumerism and kind of how to train yourself so that you're not constantly consuming more. If you wanted to see that video, comment below, comment consume in the comment section so that I know that that's what you guys want to see. Because at one point I was actually going to create like a whole program around consumerism and how you could become more of a conscious consumer. And for the time being, that idea kind of got shelved, but I definitely think that it is a huge problem for a lot of people. And it's starting with little things like doing a quick little challenge for 2-3 weeks or 4 weeks. It's a really nice way to kind of build up that momentum. This is basically what I wanted to share with you. I wanted to kind of check in with you guys. Here's your question of the day. I would love to know how your month is going so far, how your new year is going so far. I hope you guys had a great one, or you're off to a great start. Yeah, that's all I have for you. I hope that you guys are doing great. And we will do another check-in at the end of the month just so that we can kind of recap. I will do my best to actually capture all of the sticker sheets that I'm planning on not utilizing or that I'm planning on using up so that we can kind of recap and celebrate at least a little bit. But yeah, comment below. Let me know how your new year is going and if you're going to partake in the challenge. I'm calling it a challenge, but in the theme of the month, because then I would love to also cheer you on. So if you enjoy a video like this, make sure that you subscribe and you hit the notification bell. And make sure you like this video so that I know that you guys are actually enjoying it. And in the meanwhile, just keep planning, keep journaling, keep doing all the things. And I cannot wait to see you guys in my next video. Bye.